I get this crowd on their feet here in Robbinsville tonight, fans. Welcome, everyone, to Graham County. This is the Graham Star Sports Network, your exclusive home for Knights Athletics. And we are streaming it all season long and beyond. You see the Knights on the floor getting warmed up. This is actually the second warm-up session. We started to stream a little late today. Had middle school and JV action before this. We'll recap that in just a short. But fans, we want to thank you for being with us one more time. Every single evening that you can tune in with us, we appreciate your business here on the Graham Star Sports Network, your exclusive home for Robbinsville athletics all year long and beyond. We're just about 2 minutes away from the opening tip. We'll step aside real quick here on the Graham Star Sports Network and be right back with you for our opening introductions and, of course, the playing of our national anthem, Set 1. It's all coming your way on the Graham Star Sports Network.
Now introducing our starting lineups. First, the visitors from Hiwassee Dam, coached by Andrew Davis, assisted by Kelly Davis. Number 2, Avery McNabb. Number 3, Gracie Rhodes. Number 4, Brinkley Payne. Number 9, Autumn Kamaris. Number 10, Katie McNabb. Number 13, Brooklyn Hyde. Number 15, Olivia McNabb. Number 16, Abby Lee. Number 17, Taylor Burt. Number 20, Jelly Morris. Number 21, Addison Stiles. Number 22, Bella Stiles. Number 25, Ellie Ledford. Number 30, Madison Charette. And number 40, Candy Broustone. All right, fans, let's make some noise. These are your Robbinsville Lady Knights. A senior, number 1, Delaney Brooks. A sophomore, number 2, Surrey White. A junior, number 3, Claire Barlow. A sophomore, number 8, Ren Hooper. A junior, number 11, Olivia Lewis. A senior, number 14, Tia Hall. Another senior, number 16, Aubrey Wachacha. And a junior, number 20, Liz Carpenter. Robbinsville is coached by Katie Phillips, assisted by Dave Kinsley Phillips, and Liz Neer.
Hiwassee Dam, as we mentioned, a member of the Little Smoky Mountain Conference. How do you differentiate, you might ask? Well, it's very simple. Who's got a football team? Who doesn't? Okay, split them up. So there's 4 schools in the Smoky Mountain Conference overall that do not have football. That is Hiwassee Dam, Highlands, Blue Ridge School, and Natahala. And that makes up your Little Smoky Conference. They compete against each other in volleyball and basketball. The rest of the way out, any other sport, baseball, softball, track, cross country, it's all even Steven. Hiwassee Dam is no slouch, by the way. They've made quite the impact over the years in the ranks. And we'll have our scoreboard up and running here in just a moment. They are still checking over and make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be anyway here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We'll make sure everything's short up and ready to go. And I believe set number 1 set to begin. Aubrey Wachacha will fire it off, and we're off and running here in our opening stanza. Bumped back over by sophomore Brooklyn Hyde will be the response for Hiwassee Dam. Big block up front in the middle by Olivia McNabb, senior for the Eagles. Get pushed back over by Claire Barlow here in set 1. Spike will get the point. How about Brinkley Payne on the outside with a big shot, outside hitter, 5'8" sophomore. As we said, you can't underestimate the Lady Eagles. They're up 1-0 here in the opening stanza, and Olivia McNabb back to serve. Saved by Barlow, returned by Liz Carpenter. Push by Katie McNabb. Carpenter will return that here in the first set. Good to have you with us, fans. We only got 2 telecasts this week on the Graham Star Sports Network. That one will be out. Ren Hooper's effort for naught. 2-0 Lady Eagles. Served back over by Olivia McNabb. Carpenter tips it. Word. Payne with a big spike. Blocked. Looks like Barlow and Tia Hall on the effort for Robbinsville. But they're going to say the block was out, I beg your pardon. Excuse me. 3-0 Hiwassee down. At the top of the broadcast, Angie Davis back over the program for the Eagle. You see her pacing on the front of the bench. Hiwassee Dam is trying to overcome a tough year last year as the Lady Knights on the board on that spike in the middle by Claire Barlow is 3-1. Eagles won 3 matches last year, unfortunately. 3-18 was their mark. They were third in the Little Smoky Mountain Conference. Robbinsville finished last season as the Smoky Mountain Conference champions. Tip by Lenny Brooms. Set. Brooms will spike it this time, and nobody's going to get there. Good shot. What accuracy by Brooms. It's 3-2. So back over by Carpenter. Payne returns it. Ball's out. And in the blink of an eye, it's 3-3. Saved by Charette on the back row. Wattie's got that. Big leap in the middle by Barlow, and they can't handle that. 4-3. Lady Knights advantage. I don't know why we continually have problems with our scoreboard, but we do. Libero comes into the game for Hiwassee Dam. And a good dive. Ball's returned. Brooms. It's set by Hooper. Spiked by Brooms. Just eats up. Brooklyn Hyde, I believe that was. 5-3 now the score here in the first set. Blocks all across the way. And a little chicanery there. Hiwassee Dam snuck that one in. Good move by Brinkley Payne. Makes it 5-4. Scoreboard finally cooperated. Thank you. As Payne goes back to the line to serve. Score is 6-4 now. Robbinsville sophomore libero Sarah Wattie will head back for her first trip to the service line tonight. All the other telecasts this week, fans, will be Friday. It's going to be Robbinsville Franklin football here in Graham County. So come out under the big oaks. If you can't, though, we've got you covered right here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Brooklyn High will spike it under the net. And it's 7-5 advantage Robbinsville. Lady Knights started a run that will continue tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, against Highlands. They compete against another Little Smoky school on Thursday. How about an ace, first one of the matchup for Robbinsville? That's Claire Barlow, junior middle hitter, getting the stat. 8-5 here in set 1. The Lady Knights defeated Natahala on Thursday. We were not here for that, but it was a pretty lopsided victory. I'll have to look up the set scores here in just a moment. Should have had that ready, I guess. Through to it. It's not a Hiwassee Dam matchup. Tomorrow they'll trek up to Highlands. What a huge spike. That just went into the cheap seats over here, the Bob Euchre seats. 9-5 here in set 1. Arlo still at the service line. Arlo with a low serve that time. Good pass, good push by Katie McNabb. Machacha with a big spike gets off the goal, and that's about all. Hiwassee Dam can't handle it. 10-5. Angie Davis wants to find out what's going on with the Lady Eagles. We'll find out how they can respond if Robbinsville can get the momentum going. We'll be right back here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Back live from Robbinsville, 10-5 is the score here in set one. Welcome back, fans. We appreciate you being with us on the Graham Star Sports Network, your exclusive home for athletics all year long and beyond for Robbinsville High School. We do get a lot of questions. We want to address this while we're thinking of it. Everyone kind of wonders why we don't do a subscription base here on the website. It's a very simple answer. We're trying to generate as much revenue as we can for Robbinsville Athletics. Remember that a portion of the proceeds from every single purchase goes right back to the program you're watching. So Robbinsville Volleyball will see a cut of this game and every other game that you purchase here on pay-per-view. And we appreciate you being with us, as always, on GrahamStarSports.com. 11-5 in set one. Barlow still at the service line. Finally, an error erases the junior outside hitter, or middle hitter, I beg your pardon. The pride of Tuskegee, Claire Barlow, still recuperating from a tough fall last Tuesday against Franklin, I beg your pardon, on Monday. Good save there, and that's going to be about it. For some reason, Warren Knott and Matt Cox had nothing to play on that ball. They just let it kind of go out. And I'll make it 11-7 here on GrahamStarSports.com. Katie McNabb with another good serve. Waddy greets it. Good set by Hooper. Returned by Wachacha. Tip over by McNabb. Good idea by Olivia McNabb there. But Brooms with a big spike takes care of business on the outside. Conference leader in kills last season was Miss Brooms. 12-7 your score now here in the first set. Brooms to serve. Pass. Spike. Blocked. Big block by Wachacha, but they're going to save it. Good work by the Eagles. Aubrey again. And that one's out. Brinkley Payne let it go by wisely. And it's 12-8. We knew this would be competitive, fans. We had no doubt about that. Actually shocked it's taking this long to show that. It's been competitive in the early going. Robbinsville kind of ran away there for a moment. Eagles are too talented to let that fly, pardon the pun. How about a service ace for Katie McNabb? Score is 12-9 here in set one. And McNabb with a service error. That'll make it 13-9. Ren Hooper, sophomore setter for Robbinsville, will fire one off here. Good saves, good returns. Addison Stiles on that last one. How about Aubrey Wachacha winning the battle up front with Olivia McNabb? It's 14-9 here in set one. Don't forget, fans, every single week we'll recap all the latest Lady Knights and Black Knights athletics in the Graham Star. It's available on newsstands everywhere. Wednesday afternoon, we expand into not one, not two, but 3 counties. Find us in Swain County. You can find us here in Graham, of course, and we got a little bit of a presence in Cherokee County. Know where to look for us. Back-to-back aces for Ren Hooper has made it 15-9 here in set one. Pardon, 16-9. Brooklyn Hyde. Quick return. Robbinsville catches him off guard just enough. Good effort by the Eagles. But it is 17-9. Return by Brinkley Payne. Brooms plays in the corner of the court. There's Carpenter on the left outside. Walk up front. Everybody's still playing on. Wachacha And Carpenter exchanged the ball. Still there. Good work up front by Olivia McNabb. Another good block. That one more of a deflection, but she did slow it down. Volley still alive. Here's Wachacha. And McNabb with a big kill that time. How about a block? Madison Charette, senior for Hiwassee Dam, will go back to the line. Eagles are in double digits here in set one. Robbinsville travels to Highlands tomorrow, as we mentioned. You'll want to catch that game on YouTube. Visit the Highlands Booster Club YouTube page. They stream their games live at home up on the plateau. And we will not be in attendance for that game. We'll be staying back here in Graham County, looking to try to get the Graham Star out at a semi-respectable hour. That's deadline night. Really nice to take care of business against the Highlanders. And a delayed ace as the official took a hot second to signal that. 119-10 here in set number one. While we got a moment, we want to also recap the middle school and junior varsity matchups that took place before we went live tonight. It was a Robbinsville win all the way. The middle school match went to 3 sets, however. A tip from Barlow, willing to get it over 20-10. Angie Davis calls the second Lady Eagles timeout of the set. Robbinsville double-digit lead here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Let's go ahead and recap those middle school and JV matches. I do have my notes over here to the right, so excuse me. So, Hiwassee Dam Rangers, how it plays out on the middle school side. Of course, those two schools combine. A volleyball team in Cherokee County. Ranger Middle School out on Highway 64. And, of course, Hiwassee Dam Middle School tucked away inside Highway 294's facility. The Lady Eagles won the first set of the middle school match 25-22. From there, Robbinsville clawed back with a 15-25 and a 13-15 set 3 victory. JV action real quick went to Robbinsville. Straight sets, 14-25 and 19-25. We'll go back to the floor here live. Katie Phillips, you see, has strategized with her team. Angie Davis, I'm sure, trying to get the right game plan figured out for the Lady Eagles. Here in set one, Wachacha will line drive it over in her patented serve. We were commending her for it before the game. Pass from Hooper, bump over by Carpenter. Brooklyn Hyde sets. McNabb's spike is going to be defended nicely. Wachacha will get it over the net. Set by Hyde. Brinkley Payne that time with a kill for Hiwassee Dam. Kelly Davis, the daughter of Angie, the head coach, was actually a setter for Hiwassee Dam just about 8 years ago. Of course, she graduated from high school. Her younger sister Brittany was the setter after that until she graduated from high school. So it's a Davis family tradition, if you'll have it. Volleyball sort of flows through the household out there, but Kelly and Brittany both will quickly tell you volleyball takes a back seat to basketball. And Liz Carpenter gets an ace. Carpenter also a prominent forward for the Lady Knights basketball team and the starting catcher the last 2 years on the softball squad here at Robbinsville High. Good serve. I tell you, the aces are really racking up in this opening set. Aubrey Wachacha with 1. Ren Hooper with 2. Liz Carpenter with 2. And it's gotten the Lady Knights out to a quick 11-23 advantage. Here in the opening stanza, returned by Katie McNabb. Carpenter with a nice pass to Brooms. Big spike, good save on the back row. Payne tried her darndest to power that one over the net. Channeling her power of Payne. There's an inside joke for you. But no dice. And it's set point now. Big fire by Carpenter. It will die a death on the Hiwassee Dam side of the net. We'll go into the first pause of the game. 11-25 your score after the first set. Back in 3. Fans, stay with us here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Back for set 2 here on the Graham Star Sports Network. This is your exclusive home for Knights athletics all year long and beyond. Robbinsville took the first set over Hiwassee Dam 11-25, and set 2 is on tap here tonight in Graham County. Robbinsville, as we said, will go to Highlands tomorrow. We will not have that game. Check it out on the Highlands Booster Club YouTube page. Absolutely free of charge to watch that one. Up at Highlands. Set 2, set to commence. Katie McNabb with a pause in her step. She got it off, though. Waddy with the reception and return by Wachacha. There's Liz Carpenter with a spike, and that just stayed up. Poor Gracie Rhodes. 1-0 Robbinsville here in the first set. Aubrey Wachacha. Line drive, serve again. Point. Robbinsville, that hit the floor. Official called it before they could even get to make the play. 2-0 now. Lady Knights. Wachacha again. Good spike. That goes into the net, though. And it's a little low of the mark that time. Your score, 2-1. Gracie Rhodes to serve for Hiwassee Dam. High spike, it goes out. Boy, a lot of power on that. But it was for naught. 3-1 Robbinsville. Liz Carpenter will trot back to the line to serve. Another ace for Liz Carpenter. They've dominated the matchup tonight with those service aces. Good to see that. Good serve, Carpenter again. How about that? 4 aces in the first 2 sets here tonight for Liz Carpenter. It's 5-1 Robbinsville. Pass. Bumped on the return by Brinkley Payne. Waddy will dig it out. Here's Brooms off the pass from Hooper. Good work. Robbinsville doing everything right now. Cooking with oil and grease is 6-1. Lady Eagles are simply just trying to keep pace right now on the Graham Star Sports Network. They have a mutual opponent that we don't normally see. We'll talk about that real quick. Copper Basin will be playing Robbinsville this year in volleyball. We haven't seen the Cougars in volleyball in quite some time in Graham County. I'll have to go back and see the last time they actually played each other. That game comes up in September, and the Cougars will travel to Robbinsville. But Hiwassee Dam played last week, and that was your matchup that I thought I had forgotten, and I did. Hiwassee Dam picked up the victory in straight sets over the Cougars. Net error will give Hiwassee Dam the ball back on offense. Charette with the serve. Brooms charged in from the outer reaches and tried to save that volley. Couldn't do it. It's 6-3. Brooms with a huge spike. There's McNabb on the push. Waddy saved it. Carpenter saved it. Hooper could not. Boy, that was a good effort by Robbinsville trying to keep that ball alive. Work by the Lady Knights there. 6-4 now here in set 2. Brooms to Carpenter. Back to Delaney Brooms. Big senior spike. Readed nicely by Sherelle in the back row. Payne proving tough up front once again. Here's Brooms. Tips it. Pass from McNabb. Return by Payne. Good save on that dig by Carpenter. Spiked by Brooms. Blocked by McNabb. 6-5. Charette still serving with the Lady Eagles' fortunes reversing here in set 2. with her at the line. Pass there by Brooklyn Hyde. Tip coming. And I couldn't get it over. Brooms is frustrated. Timeout called by Katie Phillips. The Lady Eagles have tied it up 6-6 here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We will be right back, fans. Sorry about that, fans. We apologize. A little lag there on difficulty. My apologies. Olivia Lewis checks in for Tia Hall at 7-6 Robbinsville here in set number 2 on GrahamStarSports.com. Lewis will tag in and serve for Tia Hall. They list her as the defensive specialist for this year's team. Hard to believe she'll be a senior next season. And the ball lands in the first row. Ren Hooper will scoop it out. Point Eagles at 7-7. Olivia McNabb will serve. Boy, what a big spike by Brooms off of Katie McNabb's hands. Point Robbinsville, it's 8-7 on the Graham Star Sports Network. Claire Barlow back to the service line. In attendance with us tonight is a actually very talked about figure in the world right now of women's rights in sports. That is Peyton McNabb sitting down here below us on the bottom row. We're hoping to get Miss McNabb up here for some insight, but maybe another time. She has done a podcast today. She's been helping out, of course, if anyone's been following along in the news, especially here in North Carolina. You'd about have to be under a rock to not have seen Peyton McNabb's name somewhere. She's been advocating following a serious injury she sustained playing this very sport last year. We might still try to procure her up here for set 3. We'll see if she's up here ready to chat. Tip by Brooms. Robbinsville up now 10-8 here in the second set. The Laney Brooms, senior captain of this team for Robbinsville, will serve. Here's the set. There's the spike. Good communication. Good work by Robbinsville. Trying to put that bumpy start here in set 2 behind them. That's not the way to do it. That return goes out. It's 10-9. Lady Eagles still hanging tough here in set 2. Spike by Wachacha. That'll get things done. Back to the Lady Knights. It's 11-9. Upper with a big serve. That'll get out. Ace number trace for Ren Hooper. And that makes it 12-9 here in the second set. Decent crowd in attendance tonight. Not as well attended as the first 2 home games of the season. I wasn't here Thursday for the Natahala matchup, so I can't speak to that. Carpenter with a last-minute slide there to save that. Good work. Big kill. How about that? Worked by Robbinsville. 13-9. Good communication. Robbinsville flowing well here at the moment. Hooper back to the line again. It was the first day of school for Graham County today. Cherokee County, I just learned earlier tonight, will be going back to school next week. Hiwassee Dam with some good work to keep that one alive. Tip over by McNabb, pass by Charette, set by Hyde. Returned by Gracie Rhodes. Here's Carpenter. Big spike to the back row. McNabb was playing a little too far back. And Carpenter with a good read to expose that open spot on the floor makes it 14-9 here in set number 2. Wachacha, big spike. That was going to play off the ceiling. That's a tough play. Probably one of the higher ceilings in the conference. Hiwassee Dam has one as well. Some of the gyms, it's pretty easy to hit the ceiling, to be perfectly honest, in this sport. 15-9 here in set 2. We'll be back in just a moment. There's some technical bugs here tonight that we're not used to having to deal with, and we apologize. We'll get our act together maybe by the end of the broadcast. Sorry about that. Hope you enjoyed our background music. Played a little longer than it meant to. McNabb slams it into the net, and that makes it 18-12. Liz Carpenter goes back to the line. Line drive serve. Tia Hall tried to play that one around the line. Despite her teammates trying to yell out, she played on. Hall's first year on varsity. She does have a lot of experience. Just sometimes her inexperience flares up. Great young lady. Huge return by Katie McNabb finds the catacombs of the gymnasium. She hit that one way out of bounds. Scores 19-13. And it is Tia Hall's turn to serve, but Olivia Lewis will tag in from the side and serve for her, and then, of course, stay on to play back row defense. Heavy spike. Big kill by Delaney Brooms. 2013 Robbinsville. Brooms, forgetting that some of these athletes have families, just pulverized that ball. Holy cow. Smacked there by Brooms that time to get the return over. Payne tried to block Barlow, and did. Good work. 20-14, Eagles down, not yet out. McNabb to serve. Save on the back row, pushed by Carpenter. And tap number 2 by Hooper goes a little wide of the court. It's 20-15. Oh, look now, Hiwassee Dam making an impact here in set 2. Here comes Olivia McNabb again. Eagles down by 5. A service ace will help the cause, 20-16. Eddie Phillips has not had to call a timeout yet for her Lady Knights. That may change in just a moment. High arcing serve by McNabb that time. Here comes Barlow with a big tip at the net. Katie McNabb thrown off course. Point, Lady Knights. Substitute coming. Madison Charette will tag out. Tagging in is Bella Stiles, junior for the Eagles. Barlow's serve coming up. The reception goes right to Bella Stiles on her first touch of the night. Carpenter to Hooper to, well, Katie McNabb. How about that? McNabb with a good read to play that one. Throw everybody off. Hey, it's 17-21. Brinkley Payne serves again. Reception by Carpenter, pass by Hooper. And Broom's thrown a little bit off on that one as well. 21-18 is your score. Ball gets away. We had a young fan from Unaka retrieve the ball. I have no idea if that's true or not. Don't hold me to that. Brooms with a spike. Set. Here's Wachacha. Tip. And that'll get the job done. Bella Stiles almost took out the Robbinsville score table. Can't have that. Rather have these athletes with us than the opposite. Delaney Brooms to serve. Robbinsville 3 away for taking a 2-0 lead in this contest. Communication excellent on that side of the net, but they couldn't defend that quick tip. 2 to go for the Lady Knights. Rhodes gets it over the net some way, somehow. Hooper had her back to it, thinking that ball was out. And it's 19-23. We play on here in set number 2. Big ace for Brooklyn Hyde, sophomore for the Lady Eagles. 23-20, Robbinsville. Another good serve for Brooklyn High. 21-23. Nobody can handle that. That was a great serve. That died at just the right time. Good break. Good velocity. Tough to defend anything like that, whether you're a world-class team or not. Carpenter spikes to the back row, greeted by McNabb, passed by Hyde, returned by Katie McNabb. Robbinsville's response comes in the form of a Liz Carpenter tip. They can't keep up with it. 21-24, set point for Ren Hooper here in set 2. Tia Hall will check back in for front row duties. Robbinsville trying to put this one out. Hyde pass, McNabb tip. Hall handles it, but it goes backwards. Robbinsville saves it. That ball's out. Oh, baby. Things are getting interesting here in the closing moments of set 2. Katie McNabb will serve. HD needs 3. Pull back ahead, 4 to tie the match. That will not do it. Robbinsville gets the dub here in set 2, 22-24. 25. We'll be back in 3, fans. Stay with us on the Graham Star Sports Network. Robbinsville out of the locker room, as are the Hiwassee Lady Eagles. It's a 2-0 matchup here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Kevin Hensley with you on behalf of GrahamStarSports.com. More to go if Robbinsville wants to claim the sweep here tonight. Hiwassee Dam's going to have to play catch-up. We'll see just how that plays out here in set 3. Robbinsville has had some fantastic serves tonight. Hiwassee Dam has struggled to defend. Aces left and right. And we will recap all that in this week's edition of the Graham Star. A big edition, fans. You don't want to miss this one, I promise you. We've got a lot of updates you're going to want to tune in for. Hey, we got non-sports related issues where you want to tune in for. How about urgent care in Graham County? We'll answer the question. Is it closing? Pick up the paper, you'll find out. As a matter of fact, we'll also mention the fact that they found some remains in the Joyce Kilmer Forest on Friday that may or may not be the missing man that we reported on in our previous edition. Sports coverage, Big Oaks is back open. How much did it cost, though? 49-day project has come to a conclusion, and we do have football. And we're going to step away now for set number 3 to commence from our Graham Stars plug. Just check us out this week. Highly recommended. You don't want to miss this edition of the Graham Star. Back at it hot and heavy here in set 3. Pass from Hooper to Barlow. Tips it over. 1-0 Robbinsville. Got your serve. That one drops. Brooms can't handle it. 1-1 score. Back over to Hiwassee Dam's side of the net. Return there by Hall. Carpenter now with a big spike that they can't handle. It's 2-1 here on GrahamStarSports.com. Grab your headset right there. You got a headset. Is that not awesome? We got all kinds of advanced technology up here. The only thing is you can't hear me and I can't hear you through the headset, but the fans can hear you, so let's get that down there where they can. There you go. You good? You're going to do a great job. I may or may not have commandeered the most popular celebrity in Western North Carolina to come up here and hang out with me here in set 3. This is Peyton McNabb has joined us up here at the broadcast location. Peyton, welcome. We've been trying to do this for months, and we finally got you aboard with us. So
yes,
glad to have you up here. Why don't you talk a little bit about your experience? Because you've talked it to death. Why don't you just tell it for our fans one more time what you've been doing and why you're doing it?
Yeah, so about a year ago, I was severely injured in a high school volleyball game by a transgender athlete on the opposing team. I've suffered from lifelong effects that probably are permanent in some cases, but luckily the North Carolina legislators and House representatives passed to override the governor's veto on the Fairness Women's Sports Bill, so it is now law in the state of North Carolina.
Well, let's just talk about the very fact they passed it. May or may not have been because of your advocacy, because you've traveled a lot of miles and a lot of places and really got your name out there.
Yeah.
More or less for the cause of trying to get this evened out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is that a good way to say that?
Yeah, definitely. That's the only reason I'm doing this, because I have, no interest in anything political at all. So That's the only reason
Don't let her lie to you, fans. She'd make a great senator one day or a great congresswoman or something. She shows so much prowess out on the road. Tell me a little bit about your travels. Expand a little bit. Tell me where all you've had to go and places you've been to advocate. You've been touring a lot of the country because of this.
Yeah, so I started my touring in April when I spoke at the House about the bill that was trying to get passed through. And then from there it just exploded, and I've been to New York, D.C., Colorado, Raleigh a bunch of times, and Knoxville, places like that to speak on it. And I've done tons of talk shows, podcasts, news things, and I've failed public speaking. That's the only class I've ever failed, so it's definitely not something I'm loving.
Don't let her fool you though, guys, because I promise you, Peyton McNabb has done a great job pitching this entire act to Congress, to the state legislator, to anybody that'll listen, really, because you're very passionate about it. Do you want to go into the effects you have? Because you say lifelong, you're still suffering some things almost a year later.
Yeah, so I have permanent whiplash. My vision's impaired. I have cognitive issues, memory loss. It just really threw my body off tremendously, and it's a slow recovery with a brain injury. But yeah, I'm currently healing, and I'm just thankful that the Lord is allowing me to heal as fast as I am and giving me the voice to speak for what's right.
Seems like anytime anyone talks about transgender anything, it's a hot button topic. And I know your first time that you went to Raleigh, you actually had to get a police escort.
Yeah.
To and from the building. Was that not wild to think, I'm 18 years old, how the crap am I in the middle of a police escort? That's got to be insane, right?
Yeah, that's actually a common thing that I have to deal with now, which is ridiculous. Because it shouldn't be a controversial subject. It's not even like a conservative issue or a Democrat issue. It's just an issue.
But the problem is that it's been made a political issue.
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
problem. Is it's been made a political issue.
Yeah.
Well, Peyton may not want to mention it, but I'll throw it out there. The matchup was against Highlands. It was a conference matchup.
Yes.
They had a transgender player that's no longer on the team. The player has since graduated, but you took a hard spike just right to the head and really altered everything. And that's sad, but hey, you're persevering, going to college.
Yes.
You're Western, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are you majoring in at Western?
Marketing.
So the first thing she's going to have to do is pass public speaking, and then she'll be good to go.
Yeah, really.
Because to market, she's got to be able to chat. No, Peyton is a sweet young lady and woman now. Boy, has she really made a name for herself and got her story out there, and it's made for a very passionate drive, and now it's law, so everything's even Steven, at least in North Carolina.
Yes.
Hopefully stateswide before it's over with, nationwide.
Yes,
we're hoping
that's what we're hoping for. Absolutely.
Well, what's it like getting back out here and watching volleyball now after what happened? Is that...
It's definitely weird, like in general, just not playing because I'm used to playing my whole life. But yeah, playing volleyball in general, I just don't even know like if I could do it again.
I bet you could do it. If you didn't have your symptoms, you could probably, I'd have no doubt you could get back out there and play today. But great athlete, she played multiple sports for Hiwassee Dam. What was your favorite, though? I have to ask that. If it's not volleyball, you could say that.
No, it was definitely softball. That was my favorite for sure.
And you still gritted it out, still played on through your senior year of basketball and softball, regardless of the lingering effects. But physical therapy, you've had to do a lot of PT and stuff. Tell me a little bit about that, too.
Yeah, I've had to go to, like, the chiropractor every week to, help with my whiplash situation, and then physical therapy and just things like that. It's just really frustrating because, again, I didn't, like, perform like I had in the past, and I couldn't really get back into it because it is slow recovery, and it was frustrating and really hard for me to like be able to get through that. So not only did it have the physical effects, but it had the mental effects as well.
But I have no doubt that your faith in the Lord has really carried you through it.
Yes,
and now you're going to come out to the other side of it. You're going to grow from it. You'll become even stronger when all this is finally over with. You
Yes.
are going to get over all this. I
Yes.
hope you know that.
Yes.
I know you have trust in the Lord about that, but I'm just going to tell you straight up, you will. So, all right, Peyton, we'll let you go back and watch the game. I kind of messaged Peyton on a whim. I was hoping to have her up here, and I was kind of like, hey, come up here. So she did, and we're very appreciative of that. Thank you, Peyton.
Well,
You
thank
did
you
awesome.
for having me.
And don't worry, this is, of all the news outlets, of all the podcasts, this is the best one you've
Oh,
been
yeah,
on so far.
for sure. For sure.
Peyton McNabb, thank you so much.
Thank
You're awesome.
you.
And her younger sister, Avery, go down and root her on
Oh, Lord.
if she gets to check in with us. So
Yeah.
played awesome during the JV game, though,
Here.
so that's something for sure. Ace from Robbinsville makes it 12-6 out of the timeout. The Lady Knights are cooking along here in set number 3. I want to thank Peyton for joining us. We've been trying to get that one going for a while. Peyton was with us for a softball game in the playoffs, and I'll just be honest, I kind of made a judgment call that day not to include her on the air. That was just a few weeks after she had spoken at the legislative level, but man, as she toured the country this summer, representing Hiwassee Dam, representing Western North Carolina, the Smoky Mountain Conference, and hey, women's sports everywhere. Wherever you stand on the issue, Peyton McNabb has made a name for herself, getting it out there, trying to tell people her story and the effects of what can happen with some of these purported unfair matchups. And we'll not get into that because I don't want to get this into a political debate, but that seems to be the way it goes. 13-7, Hiwassee Dam trying to battle back on offense with Brinkley Payne. We were talking about Avery McNabb, her younger sister, over on the bench for Varsity. She starts on JV and played earlier tonight before we went live. Ace for Brinkley Payne makes it 13-8. Robbinsville still trying to close out the sweep here tonight in Graham County. And we appreciate you all being with us here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Barlow with a good bump to save that one. Hyde at the net over Carpenter's outstretched hands, but she'll get a chance here. Nice smack over Hyde to McNabb, and a legal touch by Katie McNabb. Really have to throw out the qualifiers when you're covering Hiwassee Dam because it's Payne's, it's McNabb's. Well, there for a while there wasn't too many other names to throw out. A little bit of a different nomenclature now. How about Styles? That's another popular name on 294. Nothing wrong with that. Love that community on the western tip of North Carolina, as far west as you can go. The westernmost high school in the state. Fields of the Wood out 7-8 miles out to 94. It's before the Tennessee state line. 15-8 now after that shot. Ren Hooper having a great night at the service line. And that one was almost a hiccup, but it wasn't. Addison Styles checking in now for, I believe that's Katie McNabb. Gracie Rhodes, I beg your pardon, is going to jump off and grab a breather. Set. Big spike. Almost blocked with Cha-Cha doing her thing, though. Nicely done. And how about a backwards push? Big senior from Old Santila. Keeping the volley alive for Robbinsville, not once but twice. And that time, Brooklyn High couldn't get her timing down. It's 17-8. Robbinsville here in set 3. You're watching the Graham Star Sports Network. If you ever want to join us again throughout the year, we'll be here, fans, anytime Robbinsville has a home game. Almost guaranteed to have a telecast. But, hey, check out our main page here at GrahamStarSports.com, and you'll see our streaming schedule. We've got it all mapped out for the fall, so all of you can plan your evenings around it. Big spike with Cha-Cha too. Carpenter with a big slam over. That one playing through like a Plinko ball. And holy tamale, they actually saved the point. Good work by Hiwassee Dam, and Robbinsville wasn't ready for that. Quite frankly, no one in the gym was. Unbelievable effort. And that'll make it 17-10 now on GramStarSports.com. Brooklyn Hyde to serve again. She had a service ace in set 2. Wachacha with a hard return. Payne tried to return it. They're going to call her safe at the plate, but that ain't going to make a difference up here. 18-10 now in set 3 as Aubrey Wachacha goes to the service line. Hard line drive serve. Looked like it was in, but not a lot of argument. Side judge on the other side said it was in. Like the head official is just kind of ignoring that. Alrighty then. 18-11 will play on. Katie McNabb will serve now here in set 3. Big return up front by Robbinsville, 19-11, as this one seems to be getting into the closing moments here on GramStarSports.com. Liz Carpenter to serve. Avery McNabb has checked into the game. I willed her into existence, fans. I'm glad she's getting to see a moment of varsity action. Good athlete. She's a sophomore. Hiwassee Dam will have her for 2 more years, obviously. Service error for Liz Carpenter makes it 19-12. And Addison Stiles will get a crack at the service area, her first time tonight. High heave. Surrey Waddy grabs on the back row past from Barlow. Spike by Brooms. Well, when Delaney Brooms can get set properly, she is lights out on that left side. Ace for Olivia Lewis. How about that? 21-12 here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Bella Stiles will check in now for Madison Charette as we enter the closing moments of this contest tonight here in Graham County. Eagles have got to rally quick because they want to keep the matchup alive here on the Gramstar Sports Network. The Lady Brooms locked in like that, it's not going to happen. Big spike by the senior for a kill, and that'll make it 22-12. 3 away from the close. Lewis hammers it over the net. And can't get to it that time. That was Bella Stiles trying to get there. Good effort. A little late of the mark, 23-12. We want to thank Hiwassee Dam for being up here tonight. Always good to see our friends from Cherokee County. Wish them good luck this season. I don't know that we have them on the schedule again, as a matter of fact, fans. Let's check that. Point for the Eagles makes it 23-13 here in set 3. As we said, Robbinsville will go to Highlands tomorrow night for volleyball action. Like she stepped over the line, according to the side judge. 24-13 now. It's set point for Claire Barlow. Check out the Highlands Booster Club YouTube page to watch Robbinsville volleyball tomorrow night. Thursday, we'll take the Lady Knights to Asheville High School for the return bout from last Tuesday. That matchup will not be streamed either. Friday, Robbinsville varsity football against Franklin will be right here on Gramstar Sports. Point goes to Hiwassee Dam. I think that was a neutral zone infraction. And a hot tamale fired across by Olivia Lewis. Olivia McNabb will serve as Hiwassee Dam is trying to keep the contest alive. Cha-cha push. We'll do them in. The Lady Knights have picked up the sweep tonight here in Graham County. Final set scores are as follows: 11-25, 22-25, 14-25. We want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. We want to give a special shout out once more to Peyton McNabb for joining us as well this evening here on the Graham Star Sports Network and opening up about her experience in the sport of volleyball. That's been a widespread story, and we thought, what a treat if we could get her on the air, and she was more than willing to oblige. Thank you, Miss McNabb, for joining us here on GrahamStarSports.com. Well, fans, thank you for being with us for it's all going to be our only telecast of the week for volleyball. Friday night, 7:30 kickoff. We'll go on the air about 6:45 because we have a very special treat for you. We want to show you a documentary about the demolition and reconstruction of the bleachers at Big Oak Stadium. We were set to show that this past Friday. Couldn't get our technology to cooperate. We'll have our ducks in a row Friday night. Join us at 6:45 for the Robbinsville Franklin football game. That documentary is going to run about 32 minutes, and then we'll kick right into the pregame festivities from under the Big Oaks, Robbinsville Franklin football. Until then, Kevin Hensley on behalf of the Graham Star Sports Network, have a safe rest of your Monday evening.